Hey guys, this video is the only video that you want to watch to understand awareness. And this is something not like everybody says, this is me connecting the dots on how awareness is and how easy it is to be aware. And all of this yogis and all of their thing is really wrong, and you need to be understanding this. So let's talk about in order to understand awareness. First, you need to understand time. So let's first understand the basic thing, which is the restriction of time. Okay. What is come on, man? What is time? In very articulative or scientific way, time is the measure of seconds, minutes, and everything like that. Right? What is time? The first explanation is it's something which is hours, minutes, and seconds. Well, it's not actually that. So it's days. Well, no, it's not actually that too. Well, it's months. Okay. What about years? Okay. What about lifetime? Okay. Now that is all personal, like human centric time, right? Consciousness centric time or earth centric time is sunrise and sunset. We call it Monday. Monday is what we invented what time is. Is one day, one sunrise and one set? Or if I say something else, 365 sunrises and sunset together simultaneously is one day. Is that right? Okay. Think about it, yeah. Last thing, existence, time is beginning to end will be our consciousness, right? But actually, I think time is just now. There is no beginning, there is no end. There is no creator, there is no destruction. It is just now. In order to understand this concept, yeah, we are talking about awareness, right? I'm saying for awareness, you don't need to meditate. This is just a trap. You don't need to go to a hill, sit and meditate on top of a mountain and learn Siddhi by gods. You need to understand what is time. Okay, we have said that this whole thing, what we are trying to express time through words is not time. It is just this 1 second that we are experience. So 1 second is also an expression of words, right? So what we are experience, what our fathers has experienced, what our grandfathers has experienced, and what our grandchildren, some children and grandchildren and any other thing has experienced, that whole experience is 1 second. Okay, that experience now has happened. Okay, there is no differentiation. Okay, so how do you relate time with awareness? What now? Let's understand awareness. First level of awareness is you meditate, right? You meditate. You see your thoughts. First, you rest your body. Okay, so there is this concept whereby, like a lot of meditating guys will say, I have created this new way of meditation whereby you kind of do jump and say ho and say ha, and another guy will be saying you have to run 500 miles, come back, then sit down. No, it's nothing like that. So body has intrinsically a way to stabilize itself to the resting position. Okay, you run, you use your muscle, then you rest, then whole muscle will come back to the normal stage. We just need some water, right? Okay. So body will come back to its normal stage. So there is a knowledge inside a human which you do not have to teach. That is like a baby crying. Does the mother teach the baby to cry? The baby reaching his hands. Does the mother tell him move this muscle? First you need to go to brain and there you need to send a signal and move this muscle and do this and do that. No, right? Baby reaches. So that intrinsic knowledge body knows and we know. So, what we are trying to do in meditation is first we agitate ourselves. So, in yoga, we do Surya Namaskara, we do still poses. Why are we doing this shit? We are doing this shit because we need to first try, flex everything and use our all of the energy, jumping, doing haha or something. And then, after you used up all of your energy, body will come back When you expand your body will compress back to a cool state. Okay. So that cool or that normal state, you sit down and meditate. Okay. So when you sit down and meditate, now you only have to look at the mind. Okay. Because body will ideally automatically come back to normal state because you have agitated it. Okay. That's why in meditation, first you do Surya Namaskar or something like that. Then you watch the mind. Okay. Our understanding is whatever we are thinking are not thoughts, it's just the feed. And we select which field we want, and that are the thoughts that we have. Okay. Then you see what thoughts are we want. Manifestation is just that we are selecting this kind of thoughts. Okay. Then we say we are not actually the thoughts. Okay. Then we say we are not actually the person who are selecting the thoughts. Okay. We say we are somebody is inside and we that is watching a screen which is inside your head. Okay. You see, is your eyes outside and this is your eyes inside. That is saying there is somebody watching your thoughts and you are watching the reality outside, and you recognize that there is somebody watching your thoughts and the reality outside together. Then you realize that who is this body? And that is the answer to the question, who am I? Right? And then you say, who the F is watching this guy? Right? Because watcher and the one who is being watched can't be two things. Right? Because either you are a watcher watching somebody or you are watching somebody. You can't be two things at once. That is the logic of sentences, right? So recently we said this whole thing can happen in one instance, right? So the thing is, you had a terrible, let's say you had a social media wise, you didn't have a good parenting thing, okay? Or you didn't have a good upbringing, let's say, right? Wait a minute. Let's say your parents were not very supportive parents or something, or traditionally, why whatever the social media parenting is like, oh, if I need to be felt like this, then that has to be expressed by my parents, or whatever I need to be doing, we don't have the permission from our parents or something like that. That is our watcher justifying the experience, right? Who is this watcher and the watched is okay? So that is that. So parents and everything is there, right? But in the same way, in the same sentence, you also, like you said, my parents didn't actually do this process where I expected to want that process to be. But also in the same sentence, you are saying, hey, wait a minute, my parents did all the things that is necessary in their expects. Okay. So my point is, this both things, hey, my parents didn't do something, and hey, my parent actually did all the things that they had to do at that time, are true for the same time. Another example, I had a hard life because I had to work hard and I had to go to school or I had to travel to my work. Because I worked hard, I got this success, I got this confidence. Because I traveled to work, I met the person, and then I became this person who is right now. These two things are polar opposite and is happening at the same time, right? So you are saying this is a bad person, and saying in the same sentence or same thought, I really understand this person being bad because of their reasonings. Society says in this option only one is true. I say the watcher and being the watched can be just one, and there is no differentiation. When we find out there is no differentiation, we say that awareness, you don't have to try to be aware, you just have to understand you are already aware. You are more aware about you trying to aware. That means inside you, you are creating a separation from your aware mind, which is the watcher, and being aware, which is the watch the stuff. And you're trying to tell watcher, okay, are you watching that? You are aware? When you drop that A, watcher, whereas the watcher says, hey, I am watching that you are already aware. And the watch also says back to them, I know that I am aware and you are awarely watching the awareness. How aware I am? That is the time when we are aware. And you don't have to search for it because it is already true. You don't need to meditate because it is already true that you are aware. You only have to remember that you are already aware and just live. Whatever the feeling of you, be aware is already true in the reality that you are trying to be aware. Thought for the day.